Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back after a small summer break.
Summer break
Much needed
indeed.
summer break.
We were down physically, mentally, health-wise, financially, emotionally, whatever else
What
is applicable, everything
we were
works.
down. Yeah. But yeah,
Ah,
now there are some rains in Bengaluru. We can breathe. We are chilled down a bit and we are back.
yep,
Lot of interesting games while we were out. The scriptwriter is back.
yep. It's been a week of absolute cinema. There's been a lot of close games, a lot of insanely good games. Abhishek, if Delhi Capitals score 300 today, I will stop going live on this channel.
If Delhi Capital scores 300 today, I'll give you 300 crores.
It's been a slow start for Delhi, so I don't think it's happening.
Well, Abhishek, how does it feel watching JFM being dropped?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Jake Tracy McGurk has finally been dropped from the Delhi Capitals side. We've been saying it for the entire season. He's been a one-season wonder, and it looks like Akshar Patel has finally realized it. But let's talk about all the games that we've seen over the course of the
Yeah,
few.
we can start from the Delhi Super Over game itself.
Yeah, we can talk
But
about that. So it was a pretty average looking batting display in the first innings from Delhi. Abhishek Koral 49 of 37, pretty good. Fraser McGurk failed. Karunar had a bad run out. Rahul 38 of 32, a very KL Qaeda innings again. Stubbs finally pulled up towards the end along with Akshar, both of them scoring 34 from 18 and 14 balls respectively. Ashutosh Sharma adding a little bit of you know finishing touch to it. And yeah, we
yeah,
got to see Jofra again.
yeah, RR gifted a lot of opportunities to Delhi, starting from the catch the Tikshana drop, the last extra run, and
Yeah.
Joe Franart bowling the super over. I
Yeah,
honestly,
A World Cup winning bowler who bowled the super over in the World Cup final should, in all honesty, be preferred over Sandeep Sharma. But I think I was talking to Abhishek when that happened, and I had a feeling that it was going to be Sandeep Sharma at the end of the day. So yeah, it was Sandeep, and Sandeep thought for some reason that it's a good idea to bowl slower length balls instead of Yorkers.
he was
Well
just
done.
gifting away the batsman, giving all the time in the world for them to pull those
Yeah.
shots to the mid wicket.
Yeah. So I actually did some research about how many teams have played super overs and how many, what the win percentage look like. I obviously started with RCB, who have 2 out of 3 wins in super overs. The loss coming against SRH with that Cameron White game. The 2 wins coming, and okay, let's also talk about this. Delhi Capitals have the most number of super over wins, right? They have 4 out of their 5 super over contests. The one that they have lost was the master class.
Gale masterclass.
Yes, sir. Yeah. DC
Yeah, but
also.
not against us.
Yeah. So the 2 super overs that RCB have won have been against the owners of super overs and freaking Bumrah. But yeah, look, there was also a moment where Tristan
Has
Stubbs,
Mumbai ever won a super over?
I think they have one super over against Gujarat Lions, right?
Probably.
I
Probably,
have,
yeah. I
yeah.
remember them playing
The
against
only team who has
Punjab
never won a super
Monsters.
over is CSK.
They haven't played a super over.
They played one super over against Punjab in 2010. 2010? 2010, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was the case in point. There were multiple opportunities for RR to capitalize on, which they just let go. Um, but
But
yeah, I
in that
mean,
game, in all honesty, that pitch was flat. It was the score was never on par, but RR managed to bowl pretty well on that flat track. Managed to get quick wickets,
yeah.
but
I
yeah,
really don't understand why there's no intent being shown by the RR batters. There is. This has happened for the second time in a row against RCB. They finished 170 and they, had wickets in hand that they could have still used. Once again against Delhi Capitals, you only lost 4 wickets, and for some reason they struggled to get to 188. I know there is a certain bit of contribution from the fact that Sanju Samson got whacked on the ribs and was injured, trying to play a stupid shot. But Jaiswal, 51 of 37, is still decent from your opener, but given your game scenario, Riyan Parag's 8 of 11 and Jurel's 26 of 17 did not help the cause at all.
it's always good if you finish 175 for six, than
Yeah,
175 for two.
correct.
Not to forget that Nitish Rana came in during the last two balls and hit a four, or else it would have been 2 or 3 wickets down. That's all. Uh, Maybe they feel like their batting lineup has been exposed at this point and they're being over protective of their middle order
Yeah,
and over relying on their top order, as we mentioned in our preview.
true. It all comes down to being able to show a little bit more intent, which is the I word that we've been using for all these days. Intent, intent, intent. That's all cricket is about. I seriously don't understand what Rajasthan Royals have been trying to do, but it's safe to say that without Butler, they have been a little, closed with their batting approach.
Absolutely. Yeah. Without Butler and their spinners, lead prime spinners being taken away. Yeah. Maybe he's getting a call from Malia.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah.
So
Vijay called me. He asked me why I'm not talking about RCB yet. We will get to that. We also need to talk about the fact that after um, consecutive losses after losses, I think they had to go through 5 losses to finally realize that MS Dhoni needs to actually pull up with the bat, which he finally did. Um, we got a Puran failure, which is pretty rare in the CSK versus LSG game. Abdul Samad was
Rishabh
on.
Pant finally pulled up.
Rishabh
At
Pant
what
pulled
cost?
up, but at what cost? 129 strike rate. 63 of 48 is not helping on a pitch like that. You need to get 180. It was a slow wicket. It was a mixed soil wicket. There was a lot of a good mixture of red soil and black soil. So it goes without saying that the spinners are going to get some turn on that wicket, and we saw that with even Markram getting a wicket to his name.
Yeah. But in that game, good entry point for Tala, right at the mark of 15th over.
Yeah,
Uh, Game was perfectly posed for Tala to finish that.
yeah. I
Rare
mean,
scenario of actually Tala finishing games. But on the other end, Shivam Dubey almost played a terrorist knock.
yep. It was not pleasing to see Shivam Dubey struggle. Ever since that Oruchami Renduchami video has come out, it's been a pretty problematic era for CSK. And then, oh, KL Rahul's out. Okay, sorry. A little bit of a detour. I'm sorry. KL Rahul just got dismissed by Prasidh Krishna.
Okay, please subscribe to Big Green Cricket every game. But yesterday, when he had the chance to get subs, bro, did not.
Look,
How unfortunate.
it is very unfortunate. There's nothing we can do, but we will take one more big bird next time. Now that we've realized that they're letting birds in, I don't know if they let us carry a subscribed bird, but they are letting
We'll
us
chance
carry
give a chances, anyways.
prayer worship birds. Yeah, we'll check it out. I mean, it was difficult. We didn't get any traction off of it in the last two games. We got good traction outside the stadium and not inside because we never came on camera. And the one time it actually happened, they didn't show us that we didn't have a board.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Anyways,
honestly, good stuff.
uh, just subscribe. You know the drill. You get
Yeah,
us
you
the
know.
subscribe.
Let's talk about Sheikh Rashid, who finally was
Hmm.
replaced in place of Devin Conway. Surprisingly, I thought he should have come in for Tripathi instead of that. Uh, but sure, they dropped Devin Conway and they play Sheikh Rashid instead. He's shown more intent than the entire CSK batting lineup put together. A good strike rate of 142. Even though Rachan Ravindra finished with a higher strike rate of 168, I feel like Sheikh Rashid really took that game forward in the power play. So good
Finally,
stuff
some
from
intent in the power play from both
yes,
the openers.
exactly. So I think that helped complement Rachin's game in a pretty uh, compatible manner. And yeah, another good game that we had was PBKS versus KKR. 111, we thought it was over for them. And then suddenly we get UC Chahal forgetting about his divorce.
I stopped watching the game like when it was like 33-2 or something, thinking like it's a good chase for KKR. They know the target is small, so they'll play safe. Then suddenly I see it's like 77-8.
Yeah. So, funnily enough, they were at a stage where the team was 72 for 4. Before that, I think they were 62 for 2. Wait, let me just check that out. Just
Yeah,
give
I
me.
think they were cruising pretty well.
Yeah, they were 62 for 2 before the collapse happened. So from 62 for 2, they've collapsed to a 95 allowed, which means the last 33 runs have resulted in 8 wickets. And we called it again. It's another Andre Russell failure. And we've been saying it game after game after game, and Andre Russell is yet to pull up in the IPL. I have a feeling the one game where he might perform is at Chinnaswamy against RCB in the last league game, but until then, nothing's happening. That's all it took. A little bit of sprinkle of salt from me to Jaishal's DMs.
Yeah. Well, the last few games have been low scoring thrillers.
Yep.
Uh, Last season it was all high scoring thrillers. This season it's been many low scoring thrillers. The
Yeah.
scriptwriter is back again, and the news from
And we're
CSK.
getting good games of 160 to 180, which feels like the normal IPL once again. And to this day, I don't understand what Stephen Fleming was on about in that interview when he said every game is high scoring. We don't like this new IPL. It's not. Power hitting is still very similar to what it used to be. Pitches are still bowling friendly, and we are getting some good games within the middle score section. We'll talk about Brevis to CSK, don't worry. Um, and
Yeah, the
yeah,
news from
we saw
CSK
that in the
camp is
SRH
like
versus ML game as well. So,
Gurjapneet Singh is injured.
yep.
They have signed Devald Brevis as a replacement for Gurjapneet Singh, who was a Sikh bowler playing for Tamil Nadu, and now you have a batsman from South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
now they have
that's the
baby
they
Malinga,
call it.
baby AB. Yeah,
They have baby Prabhudeva as well.
yeah, they're playing with all babies, with one crybaby in the team being their coach, Stephen
Yeah.
Fleming.
I actually saw this post on Twitter where they claim that Pathirana is baby Malinga, which is fair. Brevis is baby AB, okay, still fair. They also claim that Sheikh Rashid is baby Ruturaj. Bro, to claim that a player is a baby version of another player, you need the first player to have gotten somewhere in their careers. It's crazy.
Premature baby,
Deepak Huda has a better international track record than Ruturaj Gaikwad. I see
baby
no
finisher too. Who is baby finisher?
what Shivam Dubey, huh?
He's finished.
He's finished. That's all. No finisher and all. But yeah, it's
Yeah, well, this is the same fan base that was calling out AB a choker. He has name only in Chinnaswamy, Karnataka, and now they are happy to have baby AB.
yeah.
Man, how bad would he feel being an AB
So
Virat in
if you
RCB?
scroll down on Duval Travis's Instagram page, you will see him wearing the 2012 RCB jersey.
Yeah, he's been a fan of AB, Kohli, and RCB since the inception of IPL.
Yeah,
And the teams that he will be playing his IPL is Mumbai and CSK.
yeah. Absolute cinema. That is how the IPL works. We are happy. We currently don't require Duval Travis's
But
services.
what's your
Have a
take
certain
on this
Jacob G.
replacement scenario? Like, let's say a batsman is injured.
Who is the foreigner who got subbed out then?
Yeah, like, what's your take? If a batsman is injured, do you want him to be replaced with a batter itself? Or if an Indian is injured, he should be replaced with an Indian itself. The same rule
If,
goes for the overseas.
if an Indian is injured, he can be replaced with an overseas, provided that another overseas is being taken out of the team, right?
Fair
Um,
enough. Fair
which
enough,
overseas
but at
players
what cost?
left
Like,
the team?
isn't it not fair that the another foreigner is being bought in the auction, an Indian is injured, and to get some overseas player in place of him, you're kicking out an overseas player who is fit and fine to play.
Correct, but which overseas player has been removed from the squad is my question. Like who has left
I think
already?
CSK had not completed the 8 overseas slots. I don't recall.
That
Uh,
might be a possibility if I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay, then it makes sense. Look, I think it's completely fine from my side of things because we got Chris Gale for Dirk Nannis. Okay, that's that's
well,
been
those were the days.
yeah, those were the days. So as long as you have that extra overseas slot, I don't think it should be an issue. But at any given point of time, you should always have only 8 overseas inside your squad. You can't,
Yeah,
yeah. So as long as that rule is being satisfied, that's fine. Subbing out a bowler for a batter or like a switch in roles, it all comes down to what they feel like they need to balance out the team, right? Now they know that Gurjapneet Singh being a fast bowler was not really helpful for their side because they had Khalid Ahmed, Anshul Kamboj, and Mukesh Chaudhary, out of which a maximum of two play the game. So you always have a third one available in case something happens to one of them. So put that aside, Gurjapneet is kind of irrelevant in the setup. And you do realize that there are multiple batting problems that the side is facing. So to make a little bit more strengthened batting setup, they've gone ahead with Brevis instead of an actual bowling option. And it also helps the cause because Brevis does bowl a decent amount of leg spin, which might work out for them in Japan. So it's not like they bowled Rachan Ravindra yet, but they are bound to produce one absolute rank turner where they bowl 16 overs of spin one day. And when they do that, he might come in handy. You never know.
yeah. Another talk of the town has been about the curators everywhere you go. Eden Gardens, curator problem. Chepauk, curator problem. What Stephen Fleming says from the past 2 years, they haven't been able to read the ground well as compared to the early days of CSK.
Yeah.
Chinnaswamy, I don't know what is the problem.
Look, I think in Chinnaswamy's case, it's just the fact that they're not giving us the same pitches that happened last year. Not going to
No,
use it as an excuse.
I
It's just
think that
that,
giving the wickets, same as last year, it's more on the green top side.
look, it's on the green top side. That is fair enough. But there's a little bit more moisture and there's a sudden increase in the amount of bounce that you see on the pitch. And that is something that has been a very drastic
Yeah,
change.
there's been spongy bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw this spongy bounce in the GT game. But one thing that went our way in the last season was the toss factor.
Yeah, fair.
When we win the toss against GT last season, We know
Yeah,
how we rattled through their batting lineup. So
correct.
on these surface with moisture, like it's raining almost every day in Bangalore now. So
Yeah,
there will be plenty of moisture underneath the surface, offering something for the spinners as well with great amount of turn and good bounce for our fast bowlers. So the toss has been a very good majority 60% factor. But another thing is like RCB has picked the squad with a template of predetermined factor of flat tracks being provided at Chinnaswamy, which is not the
correct.
case.
True, true,
So
true.
they have failed to read the surface. That's the same thing Patida has been saying in the post-match conference. Like they're failing to read the surface. It's been three games.
Look, in the three games, it's been the same pattern, right? You've lost multiple wickets in the power play. Now, the team needs to understand that Chinnaswamy is a type of ground where if you keep wickets in hand, you can absolutely explode towards the second half of the innings and easily get to a total score at the end of the innings, which is at a required run rate of 9 to 10 minimum. So, in
Yeah,
20 game, you were
run rate of
easily
9 to 10 looks like a very good score on this Chinnaswamy surfaces this time.
easily,
Forget
because
about the
look,
fact that you need to
all
go
three
about
games
10.
have gone down to a win for the opposition with 1.5 to 2 overs remaining, right? So in all three of those cases, it means that the game has gotten close enough to a point where we could have made a difference if we had a few more runs in the bank. Now, at the end of the day, you've lost 3 wickets in the power play, which means that the remaining batters need to play at time instead of going bang bang when they come in, which is their actual role. And that's why we've seen Jitesh Sharma also fail twice at the Chinnaswamy because of this. So ideal finish to the power play, 50 for the loss of 1 wicket, and you are pretty sorted that way.
Yeah, or else if it's defending, early wickets is the key in Chinnaswamy. Like you need to pick up a minimum of 2 wickets, 2 to 3 wickets to have an upper hand defending this course at Chinnaswamy. That's been the pattern here. If the team's batting first was a score above 180, then you need to pick a minimum of 2 wickets in the power play to fancy a chance defending the total.
Yeah.
If the
Uh,
team does good,
Going
it's
too
all
well into
matic.
power I'm not even concerned about how well we're bowling because we are getting power play wickets. Having Bowie and Hazelwood automatically means that you'll be getting power play wickets. The batting, on the other hand, we're trying to play that cross-batted shot before we assess the bounce, and it's going up in the air, and we're giving catches for no reason. It's not like we're getting beaten or LBW or bowled. We are attacking the ball way before we are supposed to be doing it when it's still fresh, new, and there's a little bit more bounce because the ball is harder, and that's where the problem is.
Yeah, the dismissal from the all the 3 games that Chinnaswamy has been like everything is a top edge, goes for a toss, the keeper takes the catch, or
Yeah, it's
something
not
within
just
that
for us; it's
fashion.
also for the opposition.
Yeah, it applies for both for the opposition, and there has been plenty amount of turn. Like Suyesh got brilliant turn yesterday.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that last over of Suyesh Sharma. The first 2 overs of Suyesh Sharma, the reason for his success was his length was pulled pretty back.
Pulled back,
He was not
and he was giving the
pitching
ball space to
anything.
spin. Yeah,
Yeah, he was not pitching anything in the front. So he was being defensive. Then comes the desperation of picking a wicket because Suyesh was adding pressure from one end, and from the other end, Dayard or Bhuvi wasn't able to get those wickets. Then
yeah,
Suyesh fancies a chance and tries to go a lot fuller. That's when Nehal Valera brings his reverse swing. That breaks
exactly.
the momentum, and from then on, he just takes him on, and everything was in the slot. Uh, for a chance of wicket, it costed us like 16 odd runs in that over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been the desperation in the final over to pick
The
a wicket.
last over went
Cost.
for 1 6 and 1 4, which came off the bat, and 4 byes, which turned insanely, and Jitesh missed the take with his keeping gloves.
Why did JFM get dropped when we won 5 in 6? Shouldn't we
Because
back
he's
them
shit.
now that we can afford to lose? WTF is this management, man?
Because he's shit. That's why he's been dropped, bro. That's it's
See,
simple as
when
that.
when you win, all these minor adjustments or minor loopholes that you have in team won't be talked about unless you face a big loss. You'll be
Yeah,
carrying that man. Very good
correct.
example is Aaron Finch from 2020 season. He was shit.
Yes.
We were
Yeah.
carrying him because RCB
He was
was on a
performing.
run.
Yeah.
When they lost, that's when Aaron Finch was dropped and he was brought back during the playoff.
Playoffs.
He had
And
lost the
still,
touch of
yeah.
playing, and yeah, it cost him.
It
You
was
you
always
really
a
have
case
Fab
of just
Duplessis and lot of domestic options in place of JFM.
yeah.
Uh, the middle order looks solid. All you need is a dependable opener along with
And Karun
Abhishek
Nair is
Porel.
that dependable opener. He's scoring at a strike rate of 180, 190. He's giving you 20, 30 runs minimum. And it's more than enough given that JFM can't score a run off his bat. And if he does score a run off his bat, it's not coming at a strike rate of more than 130. So from either angle, if you look at it, Abhishek Porel has done better as an opener. Karun Nair has always been someone who can bat anywhere from 1 to 5. Of course, his results have been better in the top order, and that's where they've been using him. So it's as simple as that. JFM, it's time to bye bye. Have you seen his golf swing? Abhishek says. Have you seen Glenn Maxwell's golf swing? Does that mean he's performing? No, he isn't. He's played golf
There
for
are
2 years.
so many better golfers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
The
look,
only
he
few
has a good
people
golf
who
swing.
had
Kevin
very good
Peterson
golf
is in
swing
the dressing room.
and were
Kevin
able to
Peterson is
hit the swing
in
was UV, AB, and KP. Apart from these three, I don't see anyone using their golf swing to the maximum extent in cricket.
yeah. Maxwell is the goat. He got dropped yesterday by Ponting. Simple as that.
Well, honestly, it was a good call. Being a 14 over game,
Yeah.
uh, getting in Stoinis in place of Maxwell made a lot of sense. Stoinis
Yeah,
has
there's
been
more power
brought
rating.
in.
Look, it's the same concept as us, right? There is no requirement for Devdutt particle when it's a 14 over game because ideally speaking, you depend on your power hitters. But a collapse like that brought in a requirement for an extra batter, and instead of particle, they decided to send out Manoj Bandige. And yeah, didn't help the cause at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Well,
mean that's
DCR 93 for 3, another wicket falls, and it's Karuna gone with a
oh
good
damn, that's not
31 of 18. Yeah, good now.
no, okay, cool. That's a good number of points for me then. I think that should bring
On
me
the
to
ninth over mark, DCR 93 for 3. Good. They're in a good position for 200 on the surface then.
yeah, Reggie. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's the Star Sports Classico game tonight at the Wankhede. CSK coming. CSK and MI both are coming with a win in
That's
the hand.
tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow night?
Yeah, the
Not
Classico today is a RLS game between RR and LSG.
ah no
Tomorrow,
viewership.
tomorrow will be RCB and Punjab and Chandigarh, followed by you know
Whoa.
CSK and
Hectic
MI.
game of cricket tomorrow. Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll go live together tomorrow after the RCB game is done. That will
Yeah.
be helpful. Anyway, speaking about the RCB game from yesterday, um, we were live on screen.
We were live on screen. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, we got a good amount of screen time after the first over, after the innings break, in the second innings, after the first, fourth, fifth, and sixth over. A good amount of screen time. Yogi is in the comment section. Shruti is also probably lurking around in the comments. which means it's going to be a Yogi versus Shruti clash tomorrow. MI versus CSK is going to be banger. We will uh, we will go live after the game is done. And yeah, as he says, screen time it's different. We got absolute meme material with Sumuk sipping on his drink from one of those, and me bowing down to Tim David.
Hmm.
Jake Girk is the greatest player to play this sport at
Yeah.
club level. If he's playing against Delhi Public School team, he is the greatest player to play the sport.
Hmm.
Right?
MI
I think.
versus CSK will feed families. No plan.
Yeah, no. The crazy part is a not exactly a thriller yesterday from RCB and Punjab side, and there were still 26 crore viewers on Hotstar.
Yeah, lot of people watching the game at 12 a.m. Uh,
Yeah,
RCB got more cheer during the bowling than their batting,
yeah. Look,
and
dude, our
and
bowlers
it's
deserve it, dude. The bowling
and it's
has
safe
been
to say
good.
that Tim David has already farmed all the aura, and he's on to build a very good fan base here. He's the crowd favorite. Whenever he walks towards the boundary line, he's getting loud cheers in Chinnaswamy.
Absolutely, as he
I was
should.
totally
Deserves it.
not familiar with your game, Tim David. Apologies.
Apologies. We
We
were
thought
we were always supporters of the Romario Shepherd way of thinking, and there is still a case in point where Liam Livingston can get dropped to bring in Romario Shepherd or Jacob Bethel, whichever suits the conditions more.
how do you
Right?
compare this season's Liam Livingston versus last season's Washed Maxi?
I'd say it's better. He got 150 already. Wash Maxi didn't get that also.
Hmm. But do you see any hope holding on to Liam Livingston in this team going forward?
One last chance on Sunday probably, because there is still a little bit of help for spinners, at least with the bowling factor. With the bat, I think the pitches are good enough to score 200 at the end of the day. So if he still doesn't pull up over there, both in the first innings and the second innings, the pitches remain pretty similar, right? So if he doesn't pull up, even in Mulanpur, I think it is time to say bye bye.
Well, it's a day game in Mulanpur. We saw the last game being a spin friendly track for both the sides. I'm
Yeah,
not expecting it to be run feast either. So
for sure.
I'm keeping my expectations low. It's going to be a spin track again, all over
Yeah.
again.
And
It's
I,
going to
I
be.
do think that there is a case in point for Devdutt Padikkal to play really well tomorrow because he
He can
doesn't have
cement
to
his
worry
number
about
three
power
spot.
rating. Yeah, he
He
doesn't have to
can
worry about his power rating. Absolutely.
absolutely. Now, now that the half of the season is done, who are your top fours? I saw that comment somewhere here. Yeah, now that half IPL is over on his top four teams.
Trophyless trio along with GT. I still stand by what I said in the previous, no, I think two lives ago. It's just because I don't see RR or LSG sneaking in. However, I think there is a possibility that MI can sneak in.
Yeah,
I don't
there
know
is
who's
a
playing,
good
but
amount
let
of chance for Mumbai to take that fourth spot, but I have liked the team of GT so far. They have a
yeah.
very good team,
Yeah,
but
with a
I
very
think they should
underrated
capitalize on
looking
their
team, they've
condition.
been doing a really good job. It's just that Siraj is not going to give you much if there is not help from the pitch. And Bolt has started bowling more Yorkers suddenly. He's become a better death bowler out of nowhere. So yeah, MI is looking solid. So if any team sneaks in and gets past one of these top four into the playoffs, then it is probably MI. And we said this in our preview as well. There's There's going to be four losses in the absence of Bumrah, but as soon as Bumrah comes back, they will start winning games. Which is why we said that winning even one out of their four games in the first section is going to be good enough to push them towards qualification later on.
Hmm. But yeah, I think it's going to be. Even I'll be sticking with the same thing. Trophyless trio with GT.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the IPL. Anything can happen. We've been witnessing some absolute cinema. It would be nice to see CSK, uh, cement their spot as eliminated from the tournament. We'll see
What?
that happen.
Oh,
Hopefully,
I think two more losses and they're eliminated, right?
yes, ideally two more losses and the job is done. So to CSK fans who were crying about what happened last year, you are in the exact same situation this year. So imagine how you would react
Not
if
even
you won
exact.
go
We were
and got
bad, worse than this. One game extra
yeah, they
being
were,
played
and they
with
have
an
one
extra
extra.
loss.
Yeah. So just imagine how your reactions would be if you actually managed to qualify from here with a team that looks as shit as it does right now. And that is a good enough testament to why there were celebrations last year. It's not because we beat a team that has
Yes.
five trophies. It is because we made it to the playoffs with a 0.1% win chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't care less about who we beat.
Yeah.
It just matters how we got there, right? So yeah, CSK can be top four NGOs which contributed towards climate change. Um, yeah, I mean, all the trees that have been planted so far have really been helpful. They did manage to plant fewer trees in the previous game, but I think Bhutta will handle that this time. So,
Yeah. It's been good sesh. So if the game goes well tonight, it's entertaining. We will be there.
yeah,
Or
or
else
else we'll see you tomorrow,
we'll
live,
see
live.
you tomorrow. After a good game of cricket tomorrow, we'll be live. Until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy the cricket. See you.
See you lads. Bye bye.